As we grow and develop, every week is going to look a little bit different. This year, we have 2 camps that are happening where the models and influencers both. So there are going to be some people sitting front row and then some people who just want to model. And in this day and age, they might end up doing 2 different jobs at the end of the day, but they both really do the same job, right?
Welcome to Keeping Tabs. I'm Tabitha Crock, and every Monday, I talk to someone here in North Idaho, with the goal to connect more people in the Coeur d'Alene area. And then every Friday, I talk to someone outside the community to bring in a new perspective and to learn a little bit about yourself. Do you love the Pacific Northwest as much as I do and want to show it off everywhere you go? I have the best apparel for you. Go to Forever Green PNW. So that's Forever ERGRNPNW.com or on their social media and go check them out. They have the best apparel. They have sweatshirts, they have hoodies, they have tees, they have swimsuits. They've got all kinds of great things to represent the Pacific Northwest. And they also are doing something really cool, little deals with their hoodies. So go check out them. They're fantastic and have a fantastic day. Okay, I have a return guest, but we have something really cool to talk about. I have Kaity Woodmeyer with me. And hello, thank you for coming back to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. So last time we talked a lot about marmalade and, your location here in Coeur d'Alene, also New York. But this time we're going to talk a little bit about something that you're bringing to Coeur d'Alene. You brought it already, but it's something that's evolving and becoming something so awesome. Tell us about Fashion Week in Coeur d'Alene. That's coming up in a week?
Yeah, a week today. So, I don't know what day we're going to end up streaming this, but a week from today is going to be the start of Fashion Week. The first day is Fashion Camp, where we have various members from the community. I think we have someone coming as far as from Tri-Cities, Seattle, to join us for Fashion Camp and learn about. The biggest thing about Fashion Week is learning about that fashion is a secular business, that there is a business of fashion. And just in the 2 years that I've developed and we last talked, we need to, in Coeur d'Alene, develop a community that consumes fashion and then also wears it, has places to wear it to, and has new ideas to be able to try, build self-confidence. It just brings so much, and we're just so excited. So excited.
I'm so excited. So, Okay, so you guys was it last summer? You guys kind of started because you're going to do Fashion Week twice a year.
Yes.
So tell
us.
It'll
be March 1st through the 7th and August 1st through the 7th. More, consistently moving throughout the years. It's something that hopefully Coeur d'Alene can look forward to every year. We did it last August. It was really just a community of people that were like, this needs to happen. Yeah. And we did it for us. There was a lot of people that got to come and watch. I know you attended all of the events. And we tried reaching out to as many people as possible, but we just couldn't get the community reach for ticket sales. So we were like, you know what, come for free, look at what we created and what is possible for Coeur d'Alene, and let's see how we can build it.
Yeah, which was really cool how you kind of did your, kind of dipping your toe into the Fashion Week for Coeur d'Alene and kind of seeing the interest. My good friend Bailey, she is one of your models. And so it was, I just love Bailey. So she invited me to come. And then I know you and your mom had both said you should come check it out. And so I went there, and the way you guys did it, because it was outside, because it was still very much being aware of the social distance outdoors. And you guys kind of turned the NIC little courtyard into a fashion, amazing little mecca. And so it was so cool.
It was really cool. It still gives me chills because I think we made it happen. You make it work, as far as fashion says. There is a lot of people don't really understand completely what a fashion week means in Coeur d'Alene. There are some Seattle Fashion Weeks, Portland, but there has never really been anything that's stuck and that is true to the town, because everywhere is trying to be New York, right? Or LA. And we just have really cool, really talented people where our feet are, and we don't have to try to be anyone else to be cool. NIC worked so well with us with giving us that spot. It's, we had models walking up on the little zigzag, and the way that those lights shone, like it looks so like cool. It was professional. Like we were just so pleased with how it turned out. And that really is what Fashion Week is about. It's about going to certain locations in your community and about showing how that location also incorporates the art of the fashion, of hair and makeup, of the music. There's just so many components that come together in Fashion Week that give these, other art forms a home. Yeah. And like a week to celebrate together too. Like, don't get me wrong. We were joking at our meeting this morning. That's where I came from. And it's hard to explain exactly what Fashion Week is to the community. And we're like, you guys, it's, kind of just a big party.
So true.
So, if you don't find yourself necessarily drawn to the art, or if it confuses you, like at least come to party, because there's not, a wide range of things in Coeur d'Alene to do as far as that. And it's just a fashion party.
Oh, it's so cool. And I love that you are doing it twice a year. I mean, for someone like me, I absolutely love it. I love that you bring in the like boutiques and the bridal shops and local artists that are creating their own fashion. I love that you guys really, like you said, you're pulling in our community to be a part of this week.
Yeah. And we also have, so we have Nomadic Knots. It's also showing some of her leather work. Also finding ways to like incorporate people to show at a Fashion Week, because, she might not have necessarily understood how her accessories could have been incorporated, but we worked with her as a brand, because Fashion Week is to get your name out there, whether you're a model, influencer, designer, store. We had numerous models that came, learned about what it meant to put on a production, and then, got jobs with some bridal companies, with other places like that. We aren't sitting here saying you're going to get signed right away, because that's not what happens. That's not what the industry is. If that's what your goals are, you should be in a big city, but experience before you get there is going to be the number one thing. And this is what that is: getting your feet wet in what an actual fashion production means.
So what does Fashion Week look like? Like, is it just fashion show? Or like you said, there's these camps. What does that whole week look like?
So as we grow and develop, every week is going to look a little bit different. This year, we have 2 camps that are happening where the models and influencers both. So there are going to be some people sitting front row, and then some people who just want to model. And in this day and age, they might end up doing 2 different jobs at the end of the day, but they both really do the same job, right? Both of them sell products, both of them, have to look kind of pretty or express a certain type of art. So they're going to learn about our production. We're going to give them some tips and tricks, but they're going to, meet some people that we've invited. We've invited Miss Washington USA, Miss Montana USA, the former Miss Idaho America 2014, Sierra Sandison, who is an incredible spokesperson for a lot. She also is the Buster Bronco mascot for Boise State this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's one of my great friends. And so a lot of these people are going to come and give their expertise, and we're going to put on a great production. We're going to have a launch party at the Coeur d'Alene Resort on Friday. Some people are going to be wearing some really cool things. You're a walking billboard at Fashion Week. Saturday is going to be an art installation at Emerge. And we are going to have some really special pieces to both Tabitha and I, and my family. And it's going to be really cool. We're going to set up Emerge like a gallery installation, and we're going to have some cocktails and some light snacks at 6 p.m. Come and bring a donation to the North Idaho Centennial Trail. And which hopefully August we can have a fun fashion show using that as backdrop. And And then Sunday is going to be our big event, which will be at the Hagedon Event Center. That is where you can buy tickets to. You can also buy tickets to just be a part of the whole weekend, show up, really just like connect with the crew, talk with them about, hey, what was this week like? What did you do as far as the models go? And we're gonna put on an amazing show at sunset.
I can't wait. There's a group of us girls going together for this. Like we're doing like dinner before we're going to go to the fashion show. And I'm so excited to see your masterpiece.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. The resort has been really great to work with. Doors open at 5 p.m. You can shop like the little fashion bazaar. And what's going to be really, really cool is everything you can shop directly after the show. We have some great gals that are going to be steaming everything, getting everything to the fashion bazaar. So, and all that profit will go directly to the designers. So that's going to be great that they'll get a chance to sell. And that is the secular part of the business of fashion, is that it's really, really cool to create all of these pieces, but you have to have people wear them. I mean, so what I'm wearing today is I'm wearing some of Alex's earrings.
Oh, I wore those. I was just wearing mine. Mine are the dangly ones.
Yeah. So I'm wearing Ethereal Native. She's a local beadwork. And then Madness will be in the show. I'm wearing a little sports bra. SSS means stop saying sorry. So Madness & Co. is her brand. She will be showing at Coeur d'Alene Fashion Week. CDA Fashion Week.
I love that. I'm so excited. And it sounds like it's finally like all coming together. You and I have talked about a couple little things and hiccups, which happens, but I think that's what's going to make this week better and better each year. And we talked about actually having the fashion show, one of your fashion shows on the Centennial Trail as you look at the lake. Have that creativity and that you can do anything with this week that you want to.
Yeah, anything and whoever wants to be involved, can be involved. We have people working on volunteer hours to pay off, certain expenses, because we're just, we're trying to put on a great show for everyone involved. We're just really excited. And I think, especially after last year, there is just this sense of wow, we did something. We did it together. We did it for Coeur d'Alene. There's all kinds of famous people coming here, guys.
I know.
News flash, we're cool. No one else needs to tell us that. I'm here to tell you guys that we're cool. So let's do stuff for ourselves, right?
Yep.
And then they can come watch if they want.
Yeah, that'd be so cool to pull in some of these celebrities that come in every year, especially during the summer.
Yeah, we gotta start representing Coeur d'Alene and the people from here and what they can create with their hands. So
I love that. I was just talking to someone in my last podcast that I just did with the Art and Alliance. And we talked about art and how sometimes people see art. It's almost like, oh, art is kind of you kind of get a stick this. I don't know how to say it. You know what I mean? You kind of say art. Oh, that's kind of weird. But how cool it is and how it brings kind of a community together, whether you're a sculptor, whether you're a painter, whether you're doing fashion, whether you're creating earrings.
Yeah, photographer, videographer.
You have that creativity thing that's in common.
Mm-hmm.
So what inspired you to kind of start Fashion Week?
Really, my mom, my sister, and I own some boutiques downtown, and we have talked about doing this since I was little. I think really the biggest... I think it was just being a girl from a small town, and my mom owning a boutique, and we had kind of that window into what the fashion world was. And I knew what Fashion Week was, but I didn't really understand it. And then I got a chance to study abroad, got some internships, got to go to Paris Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week. And really just see it and do it and realize how possible it is and how much our community needs it. Because art is really great, but we really do need a confidence booster. I think the city of Coeur d'Alene really needs something that is our own, that we can say, hey, we did this and we are really proud and this is who we are. have a voice that, you know, just comes from where your feet are and not so many different ideas from other places, because while that really matters, we can only make things shake where our feet are.
Yeah.
So we start doing good here. And, you know, we show that you can express yourself in different ways. And you can wear some, like, oh my gosh, the amount of women that come in the store and goes, I don't have anywhere to wear it to. Well, now you do. It's called Coeur d'Alene Fashion Week.
That's what I'm saying is I'm going to have to find out some cool outfits for these couple events. Cause I was like, this is where you get to wear this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Right. Check out Lavender Sun has some great vintage dresses right now. She has some great vintage dresses right now.
Girl. She is the best. She called me up the other day and she's like, hey, I know you're going to Hawaii. Do you want to get some like nice vintage, like button up?
Yeah. The little Hawaiian shirts. I saw those on the story. They're cute.
I mean,
I didn't have anywhere to wear them too.
So
there I go.
Is she going to be in the show? I'm guessing she will be.
She was super, super busy this time, but she's going to be going. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. I know her stuff is she's got cool style.
Yeah. And there's tons of places. Go visit Gas and Grain, you know, Garment District right downtown, Marmalade.
So yeah, who else are, you know, involved in this?
Let's see. We'll be seeing some prom and bridal dresses from Say Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We have Nomadic Knots, Gas and Grain, Garment District, Bel Air North. We still are trying to round up a couple of people. I think I forgot that there were less days in February. So
yeah,
we're like 1 week away. And I'm like, really?
It happens so quickly.
It really does. But we're excited, and we just are a community really dedicated to making sure this happens, and it happens for us. You know, it's for just every single person that's involved, for the designer, for the model, and to get whatever you can out of it and see what a full cycle of a fashion production really looks like.
Yeah, that's so cool. And what makes it so different than like, I would say, I know it's LA, I know it's New York, I know there's a whole different level. What would you say that's like something unique to like a Coeur d'Alene Fashion Week that you wouldn't necessarily see in a big New York show or an LA show?
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of things different as far as who can be involved in something in these bigger cities, because New York Fashion Week, it's going to take 250,000. I'm really not sure these numbers are completely correct, but dollars just to put your name, you know, on the list of New York Fashion Week. They have multiple designers really trying to just make it into a showroom to be able to show. I know Paris and London, like they do a very good job with utilizing the city, and that's something that's like really, really important to me, is building a good partnership to understand that we want to bring people here as tourists too, and the type of people who will spend money in fashion. But what I hold very, very like important is that the people who are involved are all here from Coeur d'Alene. They are here, and there's always going to be part of CDA Fashion Week that is for the citizens of Coeur d'Alene. There won't be a barrier of entry once these famous people get involved. It's just, it's really important that the people who built this city get the clout for me. That's what's important for me. All these other people don't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we aren't going to be begging for Justin Bieber to come sit front row. We're going to be begging.
I'm in the back row. Yeah. If Justin Bieber ever comes to a fashion week in Coeur d'Alene, be like, sir, you're going to be in the back.
Or he can buy a ticket to sit front row.
Yeah.
Buy a ticket, sir. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be fine. We would be so happy to have you, Mr. Bieber.
Yeah. So if you're listening, Justin Bieber, you listen to
We're just using you. It's just a roast. We're not serious.
Well, we'd love to have you front row.
Peaches, could you perform? Just kidding.
That's funny. So someone's listening, they want to either maybe get involved
Yeah.
model, buy a ticket, sponsor, help you volunteer, get involved with background stuff? How can someone, get involved with all this?
Fashion Camp is going to be the best way to get involved. It is sold out for this season. So you can go ahead and get it on our email list on our website to get involved next August 1st through the 7th. Fashion Camp is going to be where you learn all of the materials and you get everything you need in order to help run our production. And then also get whether you are interested in branching off into sections like the modeling part, the influencing part, the backstage part. That is the best way to get involved with our production. If you want to come see the big show, there's tickets for sale right now, $50 for general admission, and then $100 for a front row seat, some CDA Fashion Week merchandise and swag. And then if you want the Icon Pass, which you can come party with us at the resort, get invited to our crew closing party, that's the Icon Pass. And that is all on our website.
That is so fantastic. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
What kind of advice would you give to someone? Maybe, I know you've kind of been in the fashion industry and, you grew up in it. You have a mom that's like, radiates fashion.
I did it. I did the things.
Yeah. And so what kind of advice would you give someone? Maybe it's someone that's like, hey, this is a really kind of a route I want to go into, whether it's modeling, whether it's makeup and hair, whether it's photography, whether it's just the person like conducting these shows. What kind of advice would you give to someone that wants to get into this kind of industry?
Yeah, I would just say do it. If you want to do hair and makeup, go get your materials and tell a friend, I'm going to do hair and makeup on you. Grab your iPhone and start taking photos. Look, and honestly, as an athlete, I learned this from George more so than I did any of my other like coaches and stuff, but like look at film. Look at people you like, say, oh, I like her makeup, practice her, practice that type of makeup. Everyone has a niche. You can't look at what someone else is doing. If you don't like someone else's makeup, then ignore that. You just look at what you like. You look at film as a model. You look at models like with your body type, with your, eye color, your hair color, and you watch them walk, and you walk in your living room and you set an iPhone up and you compare them. You say, how should you get better? Like what you can see and then what you can do. Get a job at a boutique. Anything a part of Fashion Week you can work off. So, our scholarship was $9 and then they just had 4 volunteer hours and you could be a part of Fashion Week in any capacity. So.
Oh, I saw that. I saw some people signing up for the sponsorship and I think that's cool. So there's people out there that are like, I'm in college, I have 3 jobs. I also have $2,000 rent because Coeur d'Alene's rent is ridiculous now.
Yeah.
And they're like, I want to get into this. I think it's great that you guys gave that opportunity to up and coming people that want to get involved. Yeah.
And that $9 transaction is understanding that money still runs the world and that we need money in order to put on these big productions. And,
well, it's also like a buy-in too. I think that even when we get into like the national parks, so my fiance, when we go to like a lot of them, it's like $1 to reserve that day, and it's just that you're actually buying into it, and that you actually
you're committing.
Exactly.
Yeah, there is such a psychological thing to you're paying a dollar amount, you're paying $9, you're committing, then you're giving 4 hours of your time to help us set up, help instruct other models doing things, and then that's just like obviously that's the best of both worlds, like $9 and more experience. Depends on how you look at it.
Well, and I love right now that fashion isn't just about these tall, thin models.
No, it's not at all.
It is like
or young at all.
Exactly. To see like different ages, different body types. I think it really is evolving to something really cool because you're like, oh, I actually look more like this model than the one that has no curves, which is great. She's beautiful. Yeah. But it is like nice to be able to connect with. You're like, oh, I actually can wear that because it looks good on her too.
Yeah. And I really like to say like anyone can model, but not just anyone can model. Like anyone really can model, but that doesn't mean that you can just show up and like not put any effort into it or not put work into it. There are certain angles you're going to look the best at and you're going to have to know them. It doesn't matter what you look like. What you look like just depends on what you have to know.
Yeah, it's so true. It's really cool. And I think like you're saying about the hair and makeup kind of stuff is that I think the thing about like COVID has made people, I talked about this with some other art people, is that COVID kind of like gave us this opportunity to learn something else about ourselves or start a new project, and to see like video stuff like TikToks or Instagram reels and seeing these makeup artists turn like into like a creature, like they're doing like full stage makeup, but also they're turning into like an animal or something. And it's so
or like different celebrity lookalikes, like those ones blow my mind.
Or like the Disney characters. There's a couple girls I watch and they turn into a full Disney character. And I'm like, you look like a cartoon now. It is so crazy. But then they're getting discovered through these different avenues. I just think that the creativity and the stuff that's happening within this industry is really cool.
Oh yeah, and there's we've recently been kind of researching this Rhode Island Fashion Week. It's called Style Week, and there is a young designer, Jacques the Label, who got put on Up Next Designer. She showed at this Rhode Island Fashion Week, and she had Julia Fox, Kanye's recent fling, wearing her breast like pelt, like she's just like just a gal out of Rhode Island that like we keep, it really shouldn't be a surprise that you can get discovered on social media, but you have to be, a part of something. You kind of have to show that you can do it, and then say, here, look at me,
Well, and that's true. But it's also like a consistency. These people that are getting discovered through these different apps and stuff, it's not like they're just posting every once in a while. I mean, they're really taking it as a job.
Yeah. And a lot of people have been doing this for a really long time. Like, just because TikTok is new or just because certain things are new doesn't mean people haven't been creating content or designing fashion. Maybe that was something, you just never know, you just got to keep trying, keep going. Some people get lucky sooner than others.
And it's true. And then it just takes that one viral video to be like, okay, who's this person?
Mm-hmm.
But there's people that create content for years, and then they finally catch a break, or someone, the right person sees what they're doing. And I think it's great. It makes it fun.
Yep. Keep doing it. Keep creating. There's going to be a place for you at CDA Fashion Week.
I'm so excited. So the question I like to end with is, it's just been crazy couple years, and I think we see kind of starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel. But a lot of people are still struggling. And I think like mental health has kind of been on the forefront for a while. And it's exciting to see people actually doing the work to, become healthier and better, and hopefully in whatever aspect. So what kind of advice would you give to someone that's maybe struggling during this, pandemic?
Try something new. Like, I guess for me, as far as fashion, I just try a new outfit. And if it makes me feel good, you just keep building on that confidence. Like Fashion Week, we're really trying to build confidence through what we wear and perceiving ourselves as art. And hopefully that can just be like one avenue that we, one suggestion that if you can try, a new pair of earrings or a new color of eyeliner. I do. Me and Bethany, we decided one time to wear blue eyeliner to work. And for some reason, our moods that day, we were just like, oh my gosh, blue eyeliner.
feeling the blue eyeliner.
And I have heard a thing that's like, if you don't like the way you look today, don't look in the mirror. Like literally, okay, like if the blue eyeliner didn't work out, just don't look in any mirrors.
Because then you're going to keep obsessing over it. You're going to be like, oh, my gosh, that was a stupid mistake.
Yeah. So either try something new. If it works, it does. Like, I don't know. There's all kinds of people that have been on the worst stress list. Laugh it off.
And it's great. What is it? No publicity or something about good publicity or whatever.
No publicity is bad publicity.
There it is.
That's so true in fashion though. It is true.
Well, Kaity, I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
And like I said, if you're listening and you want to get involved with Fashion Week, please reach out to her, get on the website, get connected, buy your tickets to the show, donate, sponsor, any of those kind of things.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
There.
Thanks for listening to Keeping Tabs. I'm Tabitha Crock, and every Monday I release a podcast about different community members here in North Idaho. And then we end the weeks on Fridays with a podcast about the things I'm passionate about. outdoors, adventures, sports, the van life, and even current events. So if you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube, Spotify, or iTunes. Thank you again. Now go be kind and do something great.